pay. This is the largest transaction in the history of our country. And don't let some of these politicians go around saying, because I'm telling you, these countries are calling us up, kissing my ass. They are dying to make a deal. Please, sir, make a deal. I'll do anything. I'll do anything, sir.
Well, he finally admitted it. Donald Trump told the world at a Republican dinner that he's happy that the rest of the world is trying to kiss his ass in order to lower their tariffs. As the world burns, Donald Trump egomaniacally claims that he's getting ass kissing while the rest of us are watching our money float out to sea. I'm Michael Popok, Wall Street hat on, here on the Legal AF YouTube channel. There is a growing group of Republicans and right-wingers who are publicly declaring that Donald Trump is effectively criminally insane, as is Peter Navarro, his leading trade representative when it comes to tariffs and the economy. You don't have to take my word for it. Peter Navarro, fresh off a stint in jail for lying and not cooperating to Congress, he's out there touting the tariffs because it was one of his great ideas, along with Howard Lutnick, our Commerce Secretary. That got Bill Ackman, one of the leading titans of Wall Street, who runs a hedge fund called Pershing Square with billions and billions of dollars under his command. He supported Donald Trump. He gave 33 reasons why he was going to do it in social media postings. Now he's saying that he was wrong, that it was a mistake, that Donald Trump's recession-inducing tariff plan is a disaster. And he took special delight in taking potshots at the Commerce Secretary, Howard Lutnick, saying, when a guy comes from the world of owning a business that benefits when the economy goes down the drain, which Cantor Fitzgerald does because of volatility in the market is good for brokers, and he owns a bunch of brokers, that's probably not a good person to put in charge of your commerce policy as well. But now we've got new reporting here on Legal AF that Elon Musk, of all people, is battling it out with Peter Navarro, the leading leader for Donald Trump, the hawk on tariffs, calling him about the recession-inducing tariffs that we're all watching, calling Peter Navarro, quote, truly a moron and dumber than a sack of bricks. While other Republicans, including in the House and Senate, are waking up to try to regain control of this car that is hurtling over a cliff because of Donald Trump, you've got Dave Portnoy of Barstool Sports, a leading Republican, against the tariffs. You got Ben Shapiro and his 7 million people on his podcast telling them he was wrong to support Donald Trump and the economy. And Joe Rogan, of all people, fresh off of getting his ass whooped by the Midas Touch network that I'm on regularly, has now seen the light and has taken a position counter to the Trump administration, both related to his illegal deportations and taxes / tariffs. Let me break it all down for you. I'm Michael Popok. Trump is trying to create a cover story because he wants to give about $6 trillion with a T worth of tax breaks to the wealthy. So he's got to find the $6 trillion somewhere. So they've come up with a phony formula promoted by Peter Navarro, which I'm sure Elon Musk is responding to, which is, well, let's just take the amount of trade, 3.3 trillion of imports. Let's slap a 20% across the board on that. So that's 600 billion. Let's do it over 10 years. That's 6 billion. 6 billion tariff recovery, 6 billion against the tax cut. See, it balances, except it doesn't. Because it doesn't. Because it does not. This is why Elon Musk called him a dumb as a sack of bricks. And a moron, because that's not how trade and trade elasticity works. When you put tariffs on people and businesses, they react. They import, they sell less into the United States. They export less. They send it to other countries. There's already a statistic that says if you put a 20% tax or tariff, 20% less imports are going to come in. So they go other places. Plus, there's baked in numbers in that $3 trillion import number that includes taxes already baked in. So you have to, so you don't double count. You got to back the taxes out of that number. Otherwise, you're double counting. So at most, maybe over 10 years, if we last that long, there is maybe a $1 trillion worth of recovery over 10 years. Maybe $100 billion a year for 10 years. Just to put that in perspective, in order to run the federal government and pay people what they're expecting and they deserve under all those programs that are government programs, you need about $5 trillion, $4.5 trillion a year. This is $1 trillion, maybe over 10 years. Do the math. The hole's too big. And that's why does it surprise anybody that Republicans are leading the charge of being disappointed and being having buyer's remorse about Donald Trump. They want their vote back. Even Bill Ackman, who runs Pershing Square, who basically is one of the straws that stirs the drink on Wall Street. Even he in the beginning was like, well, I understand his tariff policies. They might bring manufacturing jobs back to the United States. That's admirable. I'd rather pay for that and the resulting inflation than some of these programs that are fraudulent and too much money being spent on the American people. And now he's saying, wait, I was worried about a little bit of inflation. He wasn't expecting 104% tariff on China, responding with an 84% tariff back effectively on the United States. And now you've got Elon Musk standing on the sidelines. Besides attacking Peter Navarro, you can see why Elon Musk is slowly in slow motion heading for the exit. I give him another month, 30 days. I'll do a hot take on him being, finally, I need to go back with my 16 kids, all named X, and my family, and I need to tend to business at Tesla. You're going to see that happening with Donald Trump. Oh, thank you. A round of applause for Elon Musk and everything that he's done. Oh, God. But now Elon Musk, on the way out in a noisy departure, is going after the leading advocate of the Trump administration for tariffs, other than Howard Lutnick. Now, I give them credit. I'll give a chef's kiss to Donald Trump. He did get Scott Bessent to roll over like a dog you're training with a biscuit. Scott Bessent was supposed to be the adult in the room, the head of the Treasury Department. It was the only thing that Wall Street liked about Donald Trump's economic policy. Well, two things. That he didn't fire Jay Clayton, the head of the Federal Reserve, and that he put Scott Bessent, who used to be the head of a hedge fund or a private equity fund, much like Bill Ackman, instead of Howard Lutnick, into the Treasury spot to sign the money and make all those fiscal decisions. Not an economist, but close enough. And they were like, okay, that's good. They never realized he was going to be. He's not even in the front seat. He's not in the passenger seat. He's not in the second row. Those cars with 3 rows? He's in the 3rd row. They didn't expect that. But I give them credit, the Trump administration. I don't know what they did to Scott Bessent. Gave him some sort of treat. He rolled over, and now he's out there talking about China should not retaliate with their tariffs. That would be terrible. That would be a mistake. We will retaliate back. Then where are we going to be? We need China more than they need us, by the way. We need the Chinese markets for our agricultural products and other things. And we need some of their technology in order to run our own technology. And the thing that Donald Trump doesn't level with the American people about is that we're level with the Chinese as long as you put in 2 components into trade deficit. See, trade deficit has 2 components. One is goods, durable, hard goods, a product. You can touch it. A microphone stand, a phone. That's a good. Could be agricultural products. Anything you can touch and feel 3-dimensionally, that's a good. That's one component of trade. What ends up in the containers, on the ships, on the planes, on the trucks, you get my drift. The other component is services, like what I do for a living. International law firms, international accounting firms, international AI firms, international technology firms, international consulting firms, international healthcare, banking, fill in the blank. And we're ahead in China. We provide them, think about it. Of course, our American companies who are world-class provide the services to run the Chinese economy. More than, when was the last time somebody hired a Chinese law firm in America? or a Chinese healthcare company or a Chinese, accounting firm. Doesn't exist. I mean, not that I know of. We're sending it. So when you level it out and you add together goods and services, we're flat with China. Why are we at a war with them? Why are we threatening to turn off the world economy and stall out the engine of global growth and our growth? Why? Because Donald Trump wants people to kiss his ass, apparently. Because Donald Trump, at the end of the day, doesn't understand macroeconomics and just wants to check this off the box of things he promised when he was captured and his campaign was captured by big oil, big money, Heritage Foundation, MAGA. This is one of the tributes he said he would give them. And he is. Doesn't care what happens. He says, oh, it's our medicine. Just hang in there. Be patient. I know what I'm doing. He said at this dinner last night. He said, I know what I'm doing. Congress wants to get involved and teach me how to negotiate. I don't need anybody to teach me how to negotiate. I know what I'm doing. You know what I'm doing. Another bottle of champagne with the 35% tariff on it. I'm going to continue to follow it all right here. One place, well, two places. Legal AF, the YouTube channel. Take a minute. It really does help, and I really would appreciate it. Hit the subscribe button. We're marching towards 1 million. We already got out of the 500,000s in the first 6 months. We're heading to 1 million because of you. I do my work here. I curate about 10 different collaborators, contributors. You love them all. We got new Melba Pearson, Dave Arenberg, Court Accountability Actions, Alex Aronson, and Lisa Graves, and Mike Sachs, Shan Wu, Dina Dahl, me, you name it, we got it. All right? Right here on Legal AF, the intersection of law and politics. And then I do my work, about 14, 15 videos a week, along with the Legal AF podcast over on the Midas Touch Network. The number one Midas Touch Network. So until my next report, I'm Michael Popok. In collaboration with the Midas Touch Network, we just launched the Legal AF YouTube channel. Help us build this pro-democracy channel where I'll be curating the top stories, the intersection of law and politics. Go to YouTube now and free subscribe at Legal AF MTN. That's at Legal AF MTN.